Welcome to lesson number 1 of the Seeds of Ubuntu course. At the beginning of gaining a basic understanding of Ubuntu, we invite you in this lesson to first become aware of the resounding call for Ubuntu that is out there in society at a time when the world is going through major challenge and change. When we look at and listen to the call for Ubuntu, we notice that there are two sides. What we are hearing on the one hand is the voice of disconnection and despair, and on the other, the voice of the hope and the potential of Ubuntu. What we are seeing and hearing on the one hand is the call for Ubuntu from the world of pain and suffering caused by thousands of years of separation thinking that we see manifest through the many examples of the ills of our society. And on the other hand, there is the good in the world and the voice of unity consciousness that is expressed by many who have come to know the true powers and the magic of Ubuntu as the pathway to the restoration of our broken connections. When it comes to the hope and the potential of Ubuntu, here is what a few leaders of society have to say about Ubuntu. Archbishop Desmond Tutu says, "Ubuntu is respected and praised the world over by people from all walks of life. This respect for Ubuntu speaks to the highest praise an African would give someone in recognition of his or her Ubuntu when they say, 'Hey, so-and-so has Ubuntu.'" Dr. Mampela Rampeli says, "We are here to invite you all to rediscover and live the values that made us a great nation. We are here to make sure that Ubuntu becomes again a way of life and ensure that every South African feels valued because they are human. We are here to ensure that being human must again become this most important status." Former President Nelson Mandela said, "It was at the level of what we once referred to as the RDP of the soul that the nation seemed to have crucially fallen behind on since the attainment of democracy. The values of human solidarity that once drove our quest for a humane society seem to have been replaced or are threatened by crass materialism and pursuit of social goals of instant gratifications. One of the challenges facing the country was to instill in the consciousness of the people a sense of solidarity, of being in the world for one another." Ubuntu thought leader and author Barbara Nussbaum says, "In essence, Ubuntu, an Nguni word from South Africa, addresses our interconnectedness, our common humanity, and the responsibility to each other that flows from our connection. The eclipse of Ubuntu has darkened the spirit of modern-day African political systems. However, imagine the potential of Ubuntu's sunlight were it to be embraced as a vital part of the African Renaissance, or even as Africa's contribution to help a fragmented, divided world." Now, when it comes to the transferring of Ubuntu, we have seen some challenges for Ubuntu over many years. As the people of Africa, our development and evolution have been greatly challenged by colonization. And as human beings in general, globalization and industrialization have contributed to the loss of the connection that we used to have as close-knit communities living in and through our natural environment. It seems, however, that life's original dream for humanity may at last be coming full circle through the information and technology age that we are living in. And with this, the window to what really matters in life is opening up ever wider, making it more and more possible for us to witness the inextricable bond and unity that exists between us as human beings and the greater cosmos. We see that our dysfunctional relationships are merely the symptoms of our unspoken craving to share our love for each other that is deeply buried in our psyches. And that the craving, the call for our unity, is so alive that it is compelled to struggle through the rubble of division and power conflicts and the fear to express itself. And we realize that we may have different religions, different cultures, different colors of skin, and different languages, but we all belong to one human race. In closing this lesson, we invite you to become ever more aware of the call for Ubuntu, through the absence thereof, the many challenges that we are facing in the world and in society, as well as through the many voices reminding us of our African dream, our common dream, the wonder of Ubuntu, our underlying oneness and our highest potential. And we invite you to imagine what kind of a person is the person of Ubuntu that Archbishop Desmond Tutu speaks about. Thank you for watching.